Hey everybody, Mr. The Fanboy here. This is my short review of both the NFC and AFC championship games that happened this past Sunday and my short thoughts on the upcoming Super Bowl. Now this is my first football video in like a year and a half. My last one was back in August of 2015. I reviewed the Arena Football Pro Bowl game between the SaberCats and I keep forgetting the other team they were facing. But yes, the last football review I've did. Haven't really been doing much football related videos on it, even though I promised that there would be other stuff besides MMA and wrestling. I haven't been doing much football because I hadn't cared that much about football until I saw the Green Bay Aaron Rodgers of the Green Bay Packers and Tom Brady of the New England Patriots. These two guys brought me back to football. I'm a huge fan of football. It's not my favorite sport for a variety of reasons, but I'm a huge fan of football. Been a huge fan of football since I was a boy. I stopped watching football in 2005 because I thought it was awesome, but I thought it was overrated. The problem I've always had with football, especially in comparison to other sports, its counterparts, rugby, soccer, and other sports like hockey and baseball, which are also my favorite, which are actually my favorite, which all those are my favorite sports. It doesn't take much technique to play. It's a game almost anyone can play. It's tough, man. It's gladiator blood sport. So when I saw athletes, well-rounded athletes like Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, I also saw highlights of the legendary Brett Favre before Aaron Rodgers. That brought me back to football. And after seeing and as a child, my favorite teams were the Falcons, the Buccaneers, the Colts, and of course the what's the other team called? Oh yeah, the Vikings. The Vikings. And I still like all those teams, including the Pittsburgh Steelers. I like almost all the teams, excluding the Giants. But I like all NFL teams. But my two favorite teams are the Green Bay Packers and the Patriots, because these two teams, and mainly their members, brought me back to watching football. When I saw how small the football players were, when I saw how small the football players were, you see these guys, and you see how athletic and well-rounded Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers was. You become inspired. I wanted to play football back when I was in high school, but but I went against it for a variety of reasons. The main reason is I'm not fast. I'm not fast, and if you're not fast, well, you at least got to be strong. At least got to be strong. In my opinion, it's better to be both. I like players who are well-rounded. They can do it all. But but um but yeah, and I wasn't either. And also, I was a wrestler in high school, so seeing a sport that I felt anyone could play, it kind of made me look down on football. And as a real martial artist, which I'm still pursuing to this day, it had nothing to do with real fighting. It's just a gladiatorial blood sport. That's all football is. It has nothing to do with real, actual fighting. And I've used football maneuvers in wrestling matches and in actual fights and got the living crap beat out of me. So yeah, it's awesome, but it's not realistic. It's not realistic. It's not realistic. So yeah, then also I'm a huge fan of the AFL football, and I hate how NFL gets all the attention in this league, which is just as awesome in my opinion. Doesn't like I said a year ago, there was this awesome Pro Bowl. This awesome Pro Bowl was, first off, it was featured on a CBS channel. It was featured on CBS. Not the major sports channels didn't even want to cover this. The major sports channels didn't even want, like ESPN and FS1 didn't even want to cover this game. Didn't even want to cover this game, and I hate the fact that NFL has monopolized football. See, not only do I want the best players, but I want the best players in the world. So I want to see them go up against players from other countries and stuff like that, man. Stuff like that. Well, so that's why I've been sort of turned off the boycotting football, because it's like I said, it's awesome, but it's overrated. I also like football because it helped create one of my favorite pastimes, and that is pro wrestling. And this sport, along with others, helped create pro wrestling. So yeah, but like I said, it was Brady and Aaron Rodgers who brought me back. And after seeing the performance of the Falcons, I'll be watching more of their games this year. I was always a huge fan of the Falcons, but I was always a huge fan of them mostly because of the franchise itself and the fact that they were from Georgia. I never cared much, but I never really cared much for the Falcons. They never did anything to ever draw me to ever watching a game of theirs. Also because they were the underdogs. As a kid, I was a huge fan of the underdogs. Still am a huge fan of the underdogs, but I like skill the best first. And yeah, so like I said, let's start off with the first game I watched. And that was the Green Bay Packers versus the Falcons for the NFC championship. This was the NFC championship game, and I was all I don't bet on these. I will never bet on these. I hate betting. I hate losing. But I was all I was I wanted the Green Bay Packers. I wanted the Green Bay Packers to win this awesome game. I wanted the Green Bay Packers to win this game because I want the Green Bay Packers to win. The Falcons, I've mostly been reading about their results and seeing my friends on Facebook constantly share what's his name. But I didn't care much for the Falcons this time. They have some players I like, but like I said, I didn't care much for the Falcons. But after seeing this performance in this game, the Packers, upsetting the Packers, I'll watch more games featuring the Falcons. But man, was this an awesome game. It started off with the Falcons immediately dominating, landing the first touchdown, then getting their first kick, and then Jody Nelson, man. Jody Nelson, who's part of the Green Bay Packers, earned my respect, playing with with a broken rib, man. Playing with a broken rib, man. And even the Packers briefly came back, but it was too late. They briefly came back towards the end, but it was too late. I had not been this excited for a football game in a long time. Whenever I did watch football recently, it was just to see the action. I want to see clotheslines, shoulder blocks, knee clips, tackles, and wrestling and guards and stuff, and finally touchdown and leapfrogs. I haven't seen this in a while, but I want to see someone run 360, move out the way, or jump over him, which brings to my next play. Probably my favorite touchdown tonight was that Julio Jones guy. Gotta talk about that guy. This guy, when the guys were coming down him, he straight blocked everyone who came out. That's what I want to see in football. When he scored that touchdown, but the Falcons, they had a better strategy. They kept passing. They kept passing the ball. They knew they couldn't get past the Packers, so they kept throwing the ball. They kept throwing the ball and having the guys be in the right position. It's also strategy, being in the right place at the right time when discussing and describing what football is like. But like I said, the game itself just really isn't that good. I love the action, which is why I watch it. I love the franchises and the awesome players. But yeah, it really ain't that good. But also, like I said, also game sucked to see Packers. Sucks to see the Packers lose, and they beat them. I think, what was the score? It was 40-20, something like that. I don't remember the exact score, but yeah. Then of course, so yeah, that was the what's his name? So yes, the Falcons are going to the Super Bowl. Now the next game, the AFC Championship, and that is that was the New England Patriots taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And man, this was an awesome game. Not quite as explosive as the first one. Well, actually it was, but I was quite blown out from that awesome Falcons game to really pay attention here. And I love the Steelers, but I wanted my man Brady. I wanted the Pittsburgh to win, and they did. They dominated, man, with Tom Brady, Mitchell, and Hogan, pretty much were the MVPs of the game. Tom Brady, he threw the football, and Mitchell and Hogan kept scoring touchdowns to win to win what you call. So now it's the Patriots and the Falcons in the Super Bowl. Now for my predictions. After seeing both of the games that were played and seeing how explosive the Falcons game was, the Falcons and Packers game was, I'm predicting the Falcons to win the Super Bowl this year. However, I want the Patriots to win, but I'm predicting that the Falcons will win. But I want the Patriots to win. I want Tom Brady to be the champion, man. Yeah, like I said, this was my review of both the NFC and AFC games and my short thoughts on the Super Bowl. I can't wait. I've never been this excited about football in a long time. All right, I'm done, people.